Joined here by Catholic for post-game of the NCAA first-round matchup. A 75-72 win over Worcester State. Guys, just go across the board and introduce yourselves.
Dan Buckley.
Aaron Kelly.
Jesse Hoffmeister.
Coach, start with you.
Yeah.
It's 30-9 at one point. You make the wild run to trim the gap late in the first half, and then you go up a little bit, go up into double digits. In the second half, they fight their way back to force overtime. But just to come out with a victory in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015, what does that mean to you in this program?
It means everything. That was probably as satisfying as a win, I think, as we have collectively had. One, it was in the NCAA tournament. It was against a really good team who I felt like played really, really well tonight. And that was probably as hard as we have ever collectively had to work to get a win. And these two guys next to me were studs, and they were running on fumes, probably with 6 or 7 minutes to go in the game. And I don't know if we subbed again, and it went into overtime, and we didn't really sub in overtime, and they found a way to gut it out. So satisfying is the word I would use.
Jesse, we'll start with you. Just as Coach said, gutting it out. You played, 41 minutes tonight, fighting through everything, 21 points, just to get into the spots that you were able to get into on offense, to work as hard as you guys were able to work on defense. How were you guys able to draw from within to be able to hang on and battle through the tiredness and everything that went into what this week was?
Yeah, I mean, it's NCAA tournament, and we've been working for 6-7 months in the whole off season, and it all comes down to this, and we know we're not going to leave anything on the table and just give it everything we got.
Dan, what a performance off the bench for you. 15 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. You were able to see that first one through early in the first half, and then you really got into a rhythm as the first half kind of went on, both getting rebounds and pushing the team and getting out on the break, but also knocking down shots on your own. What were you able to see from their defense that allowed you to kind of put the team into positions to succeed on offense?
I don't know how much it was of me, but a lot of my teammates. Obviously, we got great players on our team, and they space the floor for me, and I'm able to make plays and hopefully get them involved. And tonight we were able to do that.
Don't sell yourself short.
Thanks.
Coaches, as hectic as that game was, as frenetic as the pace got at times, you guys still only turned the ball over 10 times. It's something you've prided yourselves on all year, averaged under 10 turnovers per game, ranking in the top 10 nationally. How were you able to stay so composed as a unit no matter what the pace of the game is and take care of the basketball?
I think it's discipline. It's something that these guys have worked on over the course of their career. We don't have a lot of things in the program that we put an emphasis on a daily basis. There's just a few, but one of them is turning the ball over. So we know every game it's got to be 12 or less. In my 5 years at Catholic, this has been the best group that we've ever had with regard to taking care of the ball. We're typically 8 or 9 a game, which is pretty elite. And today to only have 10 against a team that was really good defensively. They had great hands. They took chances. They gambled. And I just thought our guys were really tough and disciplined with the ball.
Whichever one of you two wants to answer this one, when things were not going your way in that first half, what did the guy in the middle say to get you guys out?
We don't need that. I don't know. We don't need to answer that one.
Yeah, it might not be appropriate.
For Jesse and Dan, obviously it's the first time you guys both got to play in a tournament game. To be able to do it at home in front of the environment you guys played in front of us, how did that feel, and how did that kind of charge you guys on throughout the game?
It felt good. I mean, just me and Tommy drove over here together, and we saw the NCAA banners, and we know where we were freshman year and how much we've grown. I'm kind of reflecting on wow, we did this. We're at home, from freshman to senior year, just been so much growth. So it's been was really grateful to have that.
Yeah, there's really nothing better. Our fans were unbelievable tonight. They were great in our conference tournament, and yeah, it's not just us. Those help a lot.
Coach, when you get off to that slow start, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are kind of the things you're leaning on to try to get things back on track?
Yeah, we talk about playing the process, right? What I think happened at the beginning of the game is they made a couple of shots early, and when they do that, it kind of zaps the energy out of the gym. It can zap our energy, and then we have a tendency to go a little bit inward. And what I try to get them to do is like go back to the process. Like, are we taking good shots, and are they taking tough shots? And if they're taking tough shots and making them, we just need to kind of stay the course. But when they made shots early on, it kind of deflated our energy. It took, our defensive focus away, and that's when I used a different motivational tactic to re-engage them. But when we re-engaged on the defensive end, you saw the product that these guys put out there, which was pretty good for the I would say the last 2/3 of that game.
Last one that I have, I'll leave it open to whoever wants to tackle this one. But, with the size that they have with Rubenskis and with Nkrumah, to outscore them in the paint by 10 points, what does that say about the physicality of, guys who just aren't 6'8", like Enzo Saki, like Jesse, that were able to get into the paint, and Tommy able to get to the bucket and create some chances against guys with good size and good length like that?
Who wants it?
You got it. Tough.
I don't know, just
I-
toughness.
Yeah,
Just go.
physicality across the board. We've got, it's an older group. It's a more physical group than we've ever had. So I do think at times we can kind of pick on matchups. And, we found a couple of guys that were guarding Dan that we thought he could expose in ball screens, put him in those ball screens, and now he's living in the paint. They switch a matchup, then Jesse can live in the paint. Tommy can get into the paint. Enzo can post against anybody. So it is really kind of a collective effort, 1 through 5 across the board to get in there.
Guys, congrats on the victory. Thanks so much for your time.
All right,
Thank
thank you
you.
guys. Appreciate it.